time becomes your most limited resource once you become a dad. The moment you wake up, you can almost hear the seconds counting down as you're trying to figure out how to fit everything into your day. Make breakfast, get the kids to school, commute to work, tackle an 8-hour job, not to mention overtime, squeeze in a quick lunch, commute back, pick up the kids from practice, do groceries, figure out what to eat for dinner, and if you're lucky, get another 6 to 7 hours of sleep and start over again. So when it also comes to somehow figure out a way to squeeze in a workout amidst all this chaos, it's normal to feel overwhelmed. Not to mention how most programs out there are made for people with low stress levels, perfect sleep and recovery, and routines that are way too time consuming to fit into your day. Therefore, as a result, even if you do manage to stick to them, they eventually make you feel more exhausted and even more stressed, which defeats the whole purpose of exercise. The reason we know all this is because it's a common story that we hear from dads who come to us for coaching, but it doesn't have to be that way. Training, once again, should not add more stress to your life, and if you do it the right way, it can be a little oasis of quality time that you can dip in and out of, feeling rejuvenated and energized to kick ass the rest of the day. If you had to pick the best way to build muscle and time wasn't a limitation, most people would argue that linear training, meaning doing one exercise at a time and one set at a time, would be the best way to do that. Yet, a few days ago, a new study came out and showed how supersets generate the same results with linear training, and in some cases even better, while cutting down your workout time by 36%. Now, I personally love supersets, and it's been our #1 training choice, especially when it comes to coaching our dad trainees in our Dad Bod Demolition project for over a year now. Supersetting involves pairing 2 exercises, and although there are different kinds of supersets, the best way to do them is by picking 2 exercises that minimally interfere with each other, like for example, using opposing movement patterns such as pull, push, or different body parts such as upper and lower. In the end, the main reason I think they work so well is because superset training is linear enough for you to put in hard work and utilize the most important principle for making progress, which is of course none other than progressive overload. And at the same time, they're more fun and less time consuming. By the way, if you enjoy this kind of content, make sure that you also join our Busy Dad newsletter, where we send you daily advice, we keep you motivated, we send you all kinds of free resources that we're constantly working on. Plus, you can also learn there more about our coaching if you want to take it a step further. One of the biggest mistakes you can make to waste time is not keep track of your resting periods. This almost always leads to procrastination, an excuse to go into your phone and doom scroll, to read emails or find other creative ways to avoid that next set. And even though I know it's kind of an obvious tip, most people either tend to neglect it or they use their phone as a timer and get even more distracted. This is why I recommend using a timer that is not your smartphone, such as a simple stopwatch. And if you do use your phone, use it only for music while setting it on silent and keeping it out of sight. I like to have it in my backpack if I'm training outdoors, for example, or I'll just throw it into a drawer if I'm training at home. And finally, if you're wondering how much rest to take between supersets, I recommend 90 seconds. 90 seconds are long enough to catch your breath and recover to a big extent muscularly, but it's also not too long that you can easily get distracted. So the moment you're done with your superset, set that timer as soon as possible. It's as simple as that, so don't overthink it. Just be super strict with your resting periods and you're going to realize how much time you were wasting previously. Now, I know that I've been beating this drum of morning workouts a lot lately. We already discussed a bunch of reasons why training in the morning is your safest bet in the previous video. But if you're not sold on morning workouts yet, what I didn't mention is how they are also more time efficient. Morning workouts are a lot more frictionless since you have way less interruptions that can get in your way. No phone calls, no emails, no kids needing help with their homework, no spouse asking for assistance with household chores, taking out the garbage, no delivery guys ringing your doorbell, and all that craziness that begins once the rest of the world is awake. When you train before all these things, you leave very little room for the unexpected to interfere, and therefore your dad's schedule does not dictate your workout schedule. So a 20-minute morning workout takes 20 minutes compared to a 20-minute workout in the afternoon that can easily turn into an hour. Finally, either you train from the comfort of your own home, or even if you like to combine that with a little bit of outdoor training, as I like to do, training at the next door park or your backyard, all that goes by a lot more easily. It's a lot more frictionless compared to going to the gym, where you're gonna have the extra drives, you're gonna have to pack that big gym bag and deal with the smelly clothes. Later, you're gonna have all that meaningless small talk, especially if you're more of an introvert guy like me, and you'll have less people standing in your way. And once you're done, you can jump straight into your own clean shower, step out and walk straight into your own kitchen, have a healthy post-workout meal and some quality time with your family, and lastly, walk out the door feeling confident and energized to own the day. That was all for today. Once again, if you want to learn more about our coaching, there's a link below. If you want daily free advice and motivation and also other free resources that we're constantly working on, specifically for busy dads like you, then make sure you subscribe to our free newsletter. And until next time, keep on training.